Hello everyone, and welcome to CX Secrets, Edition 1.1, Empathy versus Knowledge. I'm Zachary J Gray, author at cxsecrets.blog. It's not uncommon in any occupation to find that there are certain unwritten rules, assumptions about things which no one questions. The technology field is a bit different in this respect from most other industries. Its heroes are disruptors, pioneers, radical thinkers, culture creators, and a great many self-proclaimed skeptics. For skeptics, a guiding principle should be to question one's most basic assumptions. Ironically, there is a very common assumption that is sabotaging digital development. Epistemophila, that is, knowledge obsession. Knowledge obsession is certainly not new, but our technology-driven society applauds it more than most. Genius physicist and mathematician Isaac Newton spent the last part of his life chasing the knowledge that would turn lead into gold. Not too long ago, this kind of obsession with knowledge as its own reward was more commonly known as being a nerd. Now, the nerds are heroes. Bill Gates of Microsoft and Steve Jobs of Apple have been household names for over a decade. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and Elon Musk of Tesla will likely be just as well known in the coming decade. Today, there is an entire class of professionals called knowledge workers. Many of them are falling victim to the expectation that we have to outsmart everyone to be successful. The competition, the users, even the authorities. Stories of the perils of knowledge obsession pepper the news. This problem is poisoning this generation's leading tech companies. Uber's Grayball program was developed to deliberately deceive police officers and city officials. Wells Fargo employees were pressured to open fraudulent accounts, which could be done in just a few clicks. Facebook provided Cambridge Analytica with 87 million users' personal information, without obtaining proper consent. Amazingly, this hasn't deterred some from taking knowledge worship to an absurd extreme. For instance, take Anthony Lewandowski's Way of the Future, a church founded on creating and worshiping artificial intelligence. These scandals are by no means the only ways in which knowledge worship is negatively affecting our sanity. Though this attitude may be more subtle and less illegal in most company cultures, it is still a roadblock. It runs counter to the number one goal claimed by every tech company out there, creating value for users. How should we get past this? We should be championing the ability to empathize with others over the desire to outsmart everyone. A frequent source of confusion in the development process stems from our failure to empathize. Developers, user experience professionals, and marketers are all notorious for needing to be the smartest people in the room. Unfortunately, they often neglect to use empathy to guide their powers of reasoning. Alan Cooper, pioneer of user personas, realized this decades ago. In his 1999 book, The Inmates Are Running the Asylum, he observes that when most professionals talk about the user, they are thinking of an elastic user. They can stretch to fit almost any description. They change it whenever convenient. What they should be doing is considering a person who really exists. Unfortunately, the problem has only gotten worse. Much of the frustration and breakdown in development comes from technology workers' inability to gain the perspective of the end user. The inability to put ourselves in their shoes leads to a breakdown in serving them what they need in a way they can access and understand it. In light of this, I think the best pathway to empathy is through humility, making ourselves lesser in order to appreciate what others deal with. It's not easy to do this when we're hooked into a never-ending stream of personalized entertainment, news and social media, shopping, dining. The culture is fast becoming over-specialized and self-indulgent. It makes us feel as though each one of us is the center of the universe. On the surface, getting everything we think we want is gratifying, but it is also terribly isolating. Author Tim Ferriss says that a person's success in life can usually be measured by the number of uncomfortable conversations he or she is willing to have. Ferriss also cites the Roman Stoic Cato's habit of deliberately wearing unfashionable clothing to condition himself to ridicule and distinguish between criticism that was superficial versus that which was crucial. We have to unplug from our personalized gratification media stream and step outside of our comfort zone. We have to admit that we simply don't know everything. It shakes us out of obsessing over knowing everything, when there are so many unknowns. Other people care about stuff we've never even experienced. Part of what makes us human is to realize that what others think is important too. Well, what are some practical, everyday things that we can do to empathize more? We can make a habit of doing something every day that we are unused to, but which is commonplace for others. Try it for a week. Try it for a month. or 1 day a week, or 1 week a month. Just get out there and try these. Offer to share a ride with a coworker. Stop by a coffee shop you seldom visit. Ask someone you otherwise seldom talk with how their day is going, and take a few minutes to really listen to their response. Listen to a band you've never heard of. Try a restaurant you've never been to before. All of these require us to think more broadly and encounter the unknown. These are small ways to help us remember that we are not the center of the universe. They help us think like a brand new user. They help us empathize. And here's the funny thing about these exercises, especially for the know-it-alls among us. While we are learning empathy, we will also be expanding our knowledge. I've created a guide that helps you clear a path to insight about your users. It is now available as an instant download, so you can get started right away. Click below to learn more.